What's up, guys? I'm happy to welcome you on my channel. My name is Alexey Istomin and we're gonna be playing high stakes today. As you know from the last episode, if you don't, the link is in the description. I went to play high stakes poker and big bet poker Tropicana. It was my first time playing live on cameras. It was quite a lot of pressure and I didn't perform well. As you saw, I did really bad folds. I played really poorly, but that thing I was kind of, I needed to grow up, to become better player, because sometimes you need to fail, then to get up and to come back stronger. That's what's happened actually with me. I need to fail. I need to see myself like weak emotionally because of things that I didn't expect to happen. It wasn't only my losses, it was unavailability to rebuy, and I didn't take much money with me. I wasn't ready to lose, and I wasn't ready to have this pressure. So I had to see this, and I had to learn from these mistakes. And I think I did. I think I understood something that I didn't understand before. Okay, I stop talking. I think it's better you just guys watch how did I do that, and let me know in the comments if you see any difference between first and second stream. It's gonna be epic. Enjoy watching. First of all, I need to say that this is gonna be unusual format, and we're gonna be playing live, and the YouTube live is gonna be live without any delay. But the cards they're gonna reveal after the hand, like just the moment the hand finish, they reveal the cards. So no one knows the cards during the play, but in the end of the game, the viewers can see the cards. We still cannot see, but in this type of game everyone kind of saying what he had normally, because anyways the chat can write it or something, but still it's interesting format because they put the chat on the screens around, and the chat is live, so players supposed to interact with the chat, chat supposed to interact with the players, and everyone is kind of in the chat right now, as you see, and it's incredible how it's gonna influence the game later. You guys gonna flip out. Okay, let's start the action. We started to play a stand-up game from the beginning just to make the game more fun, and I like it because we five-handed and it could be really slowly in the beginning. So we started to play stand-up game, and the moment I'm playing the first hand, and I'm gonna show you now, it's the moment that I'm already heads up with another player in stand-up game. It means like the one who lost, the first who win the hand, another one is gonna pay to every person on the table $200. So it means like $800 is the fee for the loser. And it's fun hand because it's happened that Jeremiah opened from the first position, and he opened 4x, and everyone falls to me, and I have this beautiful holding king 10 off on the big blind, which is a really great hand in this situation to defend the big blind, because I have really strong starter for this kind of situation. And I assume that Jeremiah is really white opening here because he has no choice. He cannot fold and let me win the pot, and me, I have to call almost 100% on the big blind because I cannot fold and lose. In that case, I'm gonna pay 800 bucks to the rest of the table. So it means like my range is super wide and Jeremiah range is also really wide. But I have top of the range, I would say, with the king 10. This is really important. So the flop came incredible, 3 10 8 with two diamonds, and Jeremiah, I checked, and Jeremiah bets overbet 600 into the pot for 75. It's really interesting because of this game, because when we see overbet, it feels like it's really strong, right? It's like stronger range or a range advantage and all the stuff, but here it doesn't work because the ranges are so wide and he knows that I'm really wide, so it's kind of doesn't make sense for him to bet really big with his stronger hands. I would say his overbetting range is almost always is a draw heavy, and I would say my guess would be that it's not like a really strong draw. It's most of the time kind of gut shot draw or overcard type of draw, some backdoors. I would guess, because he doesn't really wanna overbet with a flush draw and then gut check raise, for example, and yeah, he cannot probably realize his equity. So I would say when I got this overbet from Jeremiah, I thought that my hand is now even stronger and it wants to protect at some point. But it doesn't need to raise really big, because as I thought, he doesn't have a hand to call. Most of the time he has some kind of really weak holding. So I decided just to go with the min raise and to give him an opportunity to create something. But he just called my min raise and we came on the turn. The turn is an interesting card, is 7 of clubs, which gave another flush draw on the board and also some straight cut there. But as I thought, there are not many straight draws in this overbetting range on the flop. So I checked to Jeremiah because I thought that this card could add him some equity, and I really wanna put the money in right now because now he has a lot of pair plus draw holdings, and yeah, there are too many bad rivers for me to bet now big, and I'm gonna be like stuck on the river. So it's okay for me to check and go to the river for free, or it's good for me to go all in right now. So I decided to check. Jeremiah bets 2.2k and I shove. He snap called and my assumption wasn't correct. He had jack 9 suited and I did not have any outs on the flop against him. That's how I lost my first 10k on the stream. But I'm still happy how I played this hand, because I don't think it's gonna be often when Jeremiah has a straight draw on the flop with that sizing, and I'm still thinking that most of the time he's gonna be holding weaker hands, and against them we are performing really well in this spot. But let's see what's gonna happen next. It's probably not gonna be the most interesting hand of the night. Yeah, it was kind of cooler in stand-up game. I had to pay everyone the loser's fee. I rebuy and we continue. I got pocket tens, which is great starter. I raised from the cutoff and the kier on the big blind called. The flop came 9-6-5 with a flush draw, and I decided to take a check back to protect a little bit my checking range. And you know, I didn't want to bet and face the check raise and fold on the latest reads, because it's really easy to fold the pocket tens on the 5-6-9 after I got check raised on the flop and on the and face the really bad run out. So I decided to protect a little bit my checking range and probably not fold in my hand on the latest street, whatever happened. And that actually was a good plan, because turn came 7 of clubs, which made a 4th straight on the board, and Kir decided to bet really small. He's still reading the chat. I want you to pay attention on that. He bet really small. For me, it's easy call. I have now even the nuts out for the 8, and the river brought jack, and now Kir decided to bomb 2.5 pot size bet on the river. Yeah, I'm gonna stick to my flop plan, not fold in my hand whatever happened, because I know that Kir is very capable to do crazy things when he thinks the range is capped, and also he knows my image from the last stream, and he's probably gonna be trying to put more pressure on me. So I took few seconds to think about it, but I already knew that I'm gonna call, and in the moment he started to talk to me, I throw a chip. It's funny, he had just absolute air, king 3 of hearts. Well done, Alex. Keep going. Our first chip counts. Yeah, I'm one of the losers, but not the biggest one, which is great. It's already 3 players got stacked, including me, but I'm already on the way to break even. We going there, guys. We going. Yeah, I got a good starter, king queen off, or from the under the gun. I raised. Pizzatoni did a free bet on the button. I decided that I don't wanna go crazy and fold it with this hand, which is pretty standard. But in this game, sometimes you need to call this type of holdings, because people can free bet 7 deuce and stuff. But this time Pizzatoni had pocket kings. How funny is that these guys always have a big hand against me. But this time we got lucky and got away on time. By the way, we started a new round of stand-up game, and for me it was really easy to get the coin. You know, I repeat for those who probably are not familiar with this game. So stand-up game, it means like everyone should stand up basically, and when you won a hand, you can sit down. The last standing person who didn't win a hand, he has to pay the rest of the table the fee, the penalty. In our case, it's 200 per person. So if you lost in this game, you pay 800 penalty fee. But we are not standing, we just sitting. But every time you win the hand, you got the special chip. So this time for me was really easy. I just raised ace-9 from the button, and everyone folded, and I got the chip. Super good start. And next hand, we're doing a round of straddle, and AJ, who hasn't got any chip, he raising to my straddle from the big blind. I have same holdings, actually ace-9, but this time offsuit. And we got the queen-8 for the flop, which is okay flop. A lot of gut shots and draws, but he checks, and for me it's really easy check back. Turn came an 8, and Doomer decided to bet really big, the size of the pot. It's actually a really good situation, because now he's starting to represent only 8, I would say. There are some slow play ace queen and maybe aces and kings, but really a really small portion of his wide range. And now he's starting to represent only 8. And if you think about how wide his range, because he's trying to get the chip, he is raising pretty wide pre-flop. He checked the flop, so he brought all his wide pre-flop range on the turn, and now he's starting to be polarized, to polarize his range and represent trips. For me, it's really good situation, because I understand that my ace high is almost always, it's not almost always, but it's a lot of time a best hand. So I do call on the turn, and on the river absolute brick he bombs again, and I already knew I'm gonna call him, but I took a little bit time, observed how he was performing in this kind of bluffing state, and I made a call, and he had just 10-5 of spades, which is absolute air. Yeah, and a good pot of 6k is going to our direction, which is always great. And this is actually the best hand of the night, guys. Pizzatoni raised under the gun, and Kir decided to free bet from the cutoff. I came to this stream to fight. I came to the stream to not fold. So when I saw King Queen suited on the small blind, I thought this is a very good situation to call 4-bet, because I know Kir could free bet Pizzatoni really wide, and he hasn't got a chip for stand-up game, so he's probably wider than normal. So it makes my hand perfect for the called 4-bet. I made it. As you remember, I mentioned the chat which was on the walls around, and Kir was reading the chat all the time during the stream, and he always reading some kind of phrases about me, how bad I am and something, and I didn't take it seriously, but it was a really fun situation that in this moment he was reading the chat so hard, so he didn't see me doing this called 4-bet, and when it came to him, he just mocked his hand, and I said like, oh, I don't need to show because I already had a stand-up chip, so I couldn't just mock my hand as well. And in this moment he realized that he mocked his... Look at this.
I don't need to show, I don't need to show. It's a beautiful thing.
Oh shit!
What just happened? Did Kir fall over?
You alright?
What happened?
You did a hand or no? You had a hand?
I thought you mocked.
Yeah, you marked, but what you had?
I had aces.
Really?
Yeah. No.
Fuck, this is the best thing.
No.
That's because you're reading and saying bad things.
He mocked his aces, guys. He mocked his aces because he was reading the chat and he didn't realize that I was doing the cold 4-betting on him. It was the best moment in my life, because I never made anyone to fold aces against me pre-flop. It's quite a big achievement, right? Let me know in the comments what you think about this hand. And yeah, in this moment I realized that it's going to be my session.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun situation. I'm glad you are taking the best of this. Absolutely.
Oh.
You know, it's just, you're going to be famous for sure after this hand.
I mean, everyone's gonna want to play with you. Everyone's gonna want to play with you.
Well, Kir folded aces, but he won't fold a 5-3 off, so it's a good game.
Oh my god!
I still don't understand what happened there.
Folded aces.
Same kind of situation. I opened Queen 9 suited under the gun and got free bet from Pizzatoni again. Somewhere in between hand I can fold, I can call, I can 4-bet even, but I already got the chip, so I didn't want to fight some extra spots which I don't really like, so I just let it go. And this time Pizzatoni had 8-6 offsuit, which is quite interesting free bet from him. Here we have a discussion about when to play stand-up game. Should we play it non-stop or give short breaks? I voting for the short breaks because it's good sometimes to get your mind chill and rest from this intense game, because you actually really intense when you play in stand-up game, and it feels like you want to get some rest, maybe go toilet, maybe just drink some water, calm. But it's interesting to try to play it non-stop, I think. But this time we decided to give it small breaks. Kir still saying he's on tilt after the folding aces. He realized it a little bit after. It's funny. And yeah, we continue the fight. We started the new stand-up game after all this discussion, and I raised King 10 suited from the cutoff, and Kagome. He's kind of new player. He came a little bit after we started. Now we're playing six-handed, and we played together on the first stream. He saw me very tight, and he saw me folding much, and he started with a big free bet from the bottom, like 1100. Yeah, it was a really good situation actually for me, because I understood all of this. I understood that he is fighting for the chip. I understood he thinks I'm really tight, and I like to fold, so it's a perfect scenario for me to do a 4-bet, which I did, 2.5k, and he folded immediately. Well done, let's go. I have really strong holdings, pocket tens under the gun. It's really interesting how you wanna play this hand, because it feels really strong in this kind of environment. I decided to limp with the intention of limp raise, which is a good idea, but it's questionable. Do you wanna limp raise this hand, or you wanna raise and 4-bet this hand? I think those are basically neutral decisions, and each of those are profitable, so I chose the first one with the limp. Jeremiah, who has no chip, raised from the cutoff 6x, and Pizza Tony called on the button. This is actually a really good scenario, because Jeremiah is opening really wide, and I expect the Pizza Tony free bet most of his stronger hands on the button with cutoff. It's perfect positions to free bet with the stronger hands, because you don't look strong, right? Especially against the guy who is opening really wide, and everybody knows that. So when Pizza Tony called, it felt like even better situation that just Jeremiah raising pre-flop. I mean, it's even better than being heads up with Jeremiah. So I decided to go with my plan, to stick with it and go for the limp re-raise. I put it 1275 bucks, and Jeremiah called, and then Pizza Tony unexpectedly going all in. I would say it's not the best outcome. It's not the outcome I expected. The thing is, I don't understand with which hand Jeremiah could play this way, because it doesn't really make sense for him to play aces or kings this way, because as I told, it's better to just free bet pre-flop, right? And it doesn't look like ace king either, right? So I don't know, could he potentially play nines or eights this way? I'm not sure. Jacks, probably possible. Queens, I don't know, somewhere in between. Yeah, but as we know, Pizza Tony could be really, really crazy pre-flop. I didn't really understand what's going on. He had in the moment only 10k stack, which wasn't too big for this game. So I decided to not fold pocket tens against him, because I thought it's a lot of times it's a coin flip. Maybe I'm ahead. Maybe he's just playing 7 deuce this way. I don't know. Not very possible, but still a little bit possible. I made a call, and I faced really bad news. Pizza Tony had 2 queens, and it was my second big cooler against the craziest guy pre-flop in this game, and I was really upset about that. But let's see if I can make it, guys. The first board came Jack 9-7, which give me extra outs for the straight, and 8 is coming on the river. It's amazing. And now Pizza Tony is starting to be worried about another 10, and start asking people who had folded 10 pre-flop. No one answered, and what you think, guys? The first card on the second board is at 10. They all spades though, which gives him a flush draw to a queen, but it didn't come, and I scoop with 20%. I scoop 2 boards and won the biggest board of my live career. I mean, in live games, it's $22,800, which was an incredible result for me. Here I'm saying some words in Russian after winning this. I'm saying thank you to the universe and thank you for the poker gods, and I'm trying to remember this moment to feel that I'm lucky and the poker is on my side, not against me. So on this beautiful moment, I think it's time to cut the first part. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you being here with me, reviewing my performances on the high stakes. I hope we both learned something important, and in this game you always can learn something. This is the best, I think, one of the best things of poker. Please, if you like this video, hit this like button, subscribe to the channel, guys. It's really important for me now. I'm trying to keep this motivation to fill this channel with good content, and I really need your help. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Bye.